did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden,
Why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given, but I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like this.
This whole thing blew up last week when Bondi, who has been pretty outspoken about hyping the existence of Epstein tapes and a client list and bombshell revelations, after going on TV to talk about all that was coming, then turned around and said, it turns out nothing to see here. Some of Trump's most diehard supporters went somewhat predictably nuts, which led to the president sharing this rambling 400-word post, infamously beginning with, "What's going on with my boys," and in some cases, gals. He said MAGA should stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein, who never dies. That the Epstein files were written by the Dems to hurt Trump, including Obama got in there somehow. But they did not release them, which is a little tough to figure out how it was going to hurt Trump if they didn't release them. Then Trump asked about the JFK and Martin Luther King Jr. assassinations, as well as his big lie of a stolen 2020 election, which is, of course, nonsense, and then reiterates that no one cares about Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So, 4 years, Trump base stood by him through everything. Scandals, impeachments, lawsuits. They believed he was the only one who would fight for them against a system they believed was rigged. But now, what happened? Even some of the loudest mega voices, the same people who defended him with blind loyalty, are finally pushing back. And why? Because he promised them the truth. Over and over, he swore he would take down the deep state, expose corruption, and release the Epstein files. And now that the moment is here, he is gone quiet. Instead of exposing the truth, he is hiding behind his own attorney general. Instead of ordering the release of documents, he once said he'd declassify. He is pretending it's not his responsibility. This is not just political. This is personal for his base. They did not just support a president. They followed a man they believed was on a mission to destroy the every evil Epstein represented. And when that kind of faith is betrayed, direction is not just disappointment, it's rage.
If you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these, would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. They do that for danger, too, because, endangers certain people, etc. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem.
Let's not forget, this is not something Trump avoided. He publicly vowed to release the Epstein files in 2023 on camera. He said he'd be inclined to do it. He even said, quote, "I'd have no problem with it." And that gave his best hope that finally someone in power would expose what the elites were hiding. But now he is flipping. Instead of releasing the files, he is passing the blame of his own attorney general, someone he appointed. If he truly wanted transparency, he could act. He's done far more aggressive things through the Department of Justice before. So the question is, why not now? And that's why these movements feel like a breaking point for many of his supporters. It's not just that he broke a promise, it's what he promised to reveal.
He was never a big factor in terms of life. You can imagine there was a full revolt in response to that post on Trump's own social media network. Some choice comments, each receiving thousands of likes, including, quote, "You promised us, sir. Putting your MAGA base down is not going to make this go away." Quote, "This statement breaks my heart, Mr. President." And quote, "This is going to cost you so many supporters, I being one of them. It appears you or a loved one was in on it and you want this to go away." It does not appear to be going away. Over the weekend, speakers at the conservative Turning Point USA conference practically had their torches and pitchforks out, demanding the Trump administration release the Epstein files.
I will not rest until we go full Jan 6 committee on the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of Intel Services, probably not American.
Who would you guys prefer, Bongino or Bonnie? Okay, 7,000 to 0.
They want Dan.
Release all the Epstein files, no matter the consequences.
How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
By admitting that the Epstein files are real and have been written and that you've read them and you don't like their contents and they were written by your enemies, doesn't make the most compelling case as far as I'm concerned. Holy moly.
President Donald Trump told his supporters to stop caring about the Epstein files. As you can tell, that strategy, not too successful, not yet. A lot more MAGA fury where that came from. As we mentioned, there are many more conservatives who were very unhappy with President Trump's response. Watch this clip.
We go to Travis in South Dakota. Hello, Travis.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Jason. I tell you what, guys, I feel really betrayed and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud.
I'm a free American. I supported Donald Trump in this last election. Yes, he did just actively cover up a giant child rapist ring, and I'm going to criticize him for that. Okay? And I'm sorry. After all these years of us right-wingers saying protect the children, come on, that's bad for your soul if you don't. You speak up about that. It's horrible what he's doing.
We went from I've got thousands of hours of footage to there ain't no files, we ain't seen nothing, there's no list.
Here's where things get weird. Trump own base people who stood by him through everything are turning. Conservative influencers, podcasters, even Fox veterans. They are not just questioning him, they are furious. Why? Because they believe the issue, the Epstein cover up, was the line, the one thing Trump wouldn't run from, but now they feel abandoned.
Plenty was said this last weekend at our event about Epstein. Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands.
I'm going to talk about the Epstein files, and I'm going to make the case that even though there are unanswered questions about Epstein, it is in fact time to move on.
Charlie Kirk, one of the most loyal voices in the moment, reportedly got a call from Trump himself, and just like that, he suddenly went silent on Epstein file. Others are saying outright, this is betrayal.
News reported that the family of Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell is appealing to Trump for help with her ongoing case.
Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein. Go ahead. I'm going to be here for as long as the president wants me here, and I believe he's made that crystal clear. It's 4 years, well, 3.5 now, right? We've got 6 months in, and it feels like 6 years. But I was with Director Patel this morning, and we are working on fighting violent crime. We are working on all these issues that we deeply care about to make America safe again and get these drugs off our streets.
Trump told them he would drain the swamp, expose the deep state, take down the elite pedophile ring. But now he's doing the opposite. It's like watching the hero become the villain. And that's why the backlash is so loud. Because too many MAGA voices, this is not just a political letdown, it's a personal one. And it's even gets stranger. Ghislaine Maxwell, the woman convicted of trafficking underage girls to powerful men, is trying to appeal her case. They could lead to more names, more files, maybe more truth. But guess who is trying to stop it? Trump's own Department of Justice. You'd think if they really wanted to expose elites, this would be the moment, right? The perfect opportunity to show they are serious about justice. Instead, they are doing the opposite. They are asking the Supreme Court to shut down the case. So, guys, ask yourself, why is a government that once claimed to fight child trafficking now protecting the secrets of one of the biggest trafficker in modern history? This is not just a legal decision, it's a message. And for many who once believed Trump was fighting for the truth, I think this feels like a slap on their faces. Let's be honest. A lot of people needed to believe Trump was the hero. They saw him as the one who would take on the elites, destroy the deep state, and finally expose monsters like Epstein. But now, what happened? When the moment of truth arrives, silence, excuses, and only distractions. And this creates something powerful: cognitive dissonance. That gut punch feeling when reality does not match what you have believed for years. Some are angry, some are confused, others are just shutting down. Because to admit that Trump might be protecting the very people he promised to expose, that's not just a political betrayal, it's deeply personal. It forces you to questioning everything: you trust, you votes, even your identity. But here is the truth: asking hard questions is not weakness, it's courage. And if you are feeling better right now, you are not alone. Millions are waking up to the same realization. The man who promised to fight the darkness might have just become a part of it.